And good evening, we are live! Welcome to the Freak Show! And tonight we are doing a special Waterworld special! Hey! Well, first of all, I would like to welcome our awesome guests. We have Rick and Julia from the Mad Max Minute. Hello, guys!
Hello!
Hello!
So how are you, by the way? Where are you connecting from?
So we are connecting from Mad Max Minute HQ here in lovely New Hampshire, USA.
New Hampshire, wow, awesome!
Yes, much better than the Old Hampshire by our estimates.
That's what they all say. That's what they all say. So, Mechanized, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Hello, everyone.
Hello, and what are you drinking tonight, Mechanized?
The usual gin.
Oh, the gin. Over to you, Stig. How are you? And where are you currently logging in from?
I'm somewhere off the English Channel. I think I'm on a pirate radio ship drinking Portuguese red.
Portuguese red. Very nice, very nice. And over to you, Skelly. I'm loving the new headwear.
The tree.
The tree, yeah.
I thought I'd give everyone a holly jolly time, so give it a whirl.
Excellent. So, brilliant. So, if you are online, guys, I can see you all sort of posting up. So please say hi, say who you are and where you're from. Stig and Mechanized will be calling you out and sort of introducing you all as you all come online. So first of all, I'd like to welcome our super guests, Rick and Julia from the Mad Max Minute. Hey, it's only our favourite podcast in the whole world ever. So over to Rick and Julia. First of all, what is Mad Max Minute?
I say, Julie, do you want to give them the rundown, or should I?
Oh, I'll start us off, and you'll take over when you feel the need to.
All right.
It is this crazy idea that was not originated with us. It started off with the Star Wars franchise, where we take a movie and we break it down 1 minute at a time. Mm-hmm. And 1 minute is one episode. And we generally spend, maybe 30 to 35 minutes talking about 1 minute of a movie, which sounds insane, but it works incredibly well.
Yep. We kicked off this project back in 2017 with the first Mad Max movie, and we went through that one 5 days a week, like Julia said, 1 minute at a time. And it took us a couple of months. And once that was all said and done, we launched right into the second one, the third. We went all the way through Fury Road, and then we ran out of movies. So now, as Peekapole can probably assume from this being the Waterworld special, now we're talking about Waterworld.
It's awesome, and was it 2 weeks ago? You thankfully you got us on, which was awesome. We thoroughly enjoyed it. Me and
That's
Becca
next year when he got us on.
Yeah, whenabouts is ours shown? We had 2 minutes to talk about a specific part, which we thoroughly enjoyed.
So while production-wise we had you on 2 weeks ago, that episode specifically won't drop until February, March of next year. Right. We record very far ahead of time.
Oh my gosh!
It's not because they're complete rubbish and you've got to re-edit.
It gives Rick plenty of time to edit so that he can make anybody sound fantastic.
Oh yeah,
awesome. Well, the word on the street was that we actually were your best guests and your most favourite. I'm not trying to say anything, but that's what I heard. Just what I heard. So a big shout out to everybody online. Stig, who's out there, or Mechanized?
We've got some New Hampshire loadies from New Hampshire. So you got some New Hampshire posse outnumbering us at the moment. We got Shell, we got Freak Bear, we got Tony, we've got
Nevada,
Johnson, we've got Mama.
Jack Duval.
Yeah.
Wayama is online, Mama.
Oh, Mama also.
Shell, Dean. Hi, Dean.
Hi, Dean.
Online.
Yeah, hi, Dean. Hi, Tony. Hello, everybody from Wasteland as well. Hello, the Freak Bear, by the way. Rick and Julia, if you don't know, you know that we have our own cult. You can't have you don't we don't have a fan club or anything like that. We have a cult. We have a character called Freak Bear who, if you've ever seen the Freak Show video, there's like a character with like a big furry head. sharpening a knife, and I think he's just about to kill Skelly or something.
He did actually stab me during the shooting. So
did he?
Partway there.
I said, "Why you kicked him between the legs afterwards?" Yeah.
Well, and since then, Freak Bear is become a legend. So he actually comes to the gigs, joins us on stage, and he's even got his own alter ego, which was it Freakaroo? So
Freakaroo's coming along, isn't it? Yeah.
Which is
fight me, I think.
Meets kangaroo, yeah.
Totally. So big shout to all these. Big shout to Mama as well. I think she's on. I can barely see sort of stuff on that. So also, guys, tell us what
she's in quarantine. I think nasty C virus.
Oh my God! So before we get into the show,
which we don't hope it is. So it's
no,
only
we won't.
quarantine.
So first of all, I would just like to thank everybody who supported us on the Kickstarter with the comic. The comic has been going great guns. It's been out just 1 week, and we're already over 400% backed. So it's happening. It's game on. We're super excited. This is book one in a whole string of books. I think we've written the first sort of 4 already, and we're super excited. We've got some crazy celebrities as their characters on the book as well, with like Emil Minty and Mark Sexton and Greg and Dana. And a big shout out to Dana as well, who stars in the Wonder Woman film. It comes out.
Just come out.
And really, there's a race in the film, I believe, and Dana politely lets Wonder Woman win. So well done, Dana. We love you, Dana. You rock. So she's absolutely a legend. So over to you then. First of all, Ricky Julia, why Waterworld, and what was your first impressions when you first saw it?
All right. Well, going back in my own history, I saw Waterworld in much the same way that I first saw the Mad Max movies, which was broadcast television, Saturday, Sunday afternoons. They got these big holes in programming, so they just throw these movies on there. And so I always associated Waterworld with the Mad Max movies. And considering that the world was going through this drought of post-apocalyptic movies in the mid-90s, we figured, well, we've run out of Mad Max. We might as well talk about Waterworld as our next project, because there are so many other options to work with. We weren't quite sure which direction to go in.
Yeah, we came up with a lot of other movies that we could do. And when Waterworld presented itself, we were like, yes, that's the one, because it's basically Mad Max on water. And something that I learned from doing the Mad Max movies, especially the third one, Thunderdome, is that even if on the surface you don't like it, once you start digging into it, especially minute by minute, there's so much to love. And I kind of needed that with Waterworld.
Yeah. I must admit, the first time
We've got a place here in the UK, well, in Great Britain, which you can call Waterworld, can't you? South Wales. Hello, Mark.
That is the gills.
Sorry. That is the gills, yeah, and the web feet.
The web feet and all that.
So I must admit, for me, the first time I saw Waterworld, I was deeply offended, thinking this is a Mad Max 2 rip-off. I cannot believe this. Why does that little kid trying to look like Emil Minty? That is not the feral kid. Ooh, you know, and then, but it was only once we started going to Wasteland Weekend, and then many a night spent very, very drunk with War Boys, dancing on the top of the D's where they had the recreation of the boat. I've then gone back and watched it, and I really like it now. It's the practical effects and the clothing and the costumes and the weathering, just really good. They did a top job. Mechanized, what did you think of the film, or what's your impressions?
Very wet. Not much to do. You're just on water, aren't you? I prefer the desert versions, I think. I can't really say what I said before, but you will hear that in March. But it was a little bit before my time, so I have not really until recently, a couple of years ago, seen it the first time. So I didn't see it as my first film. So I'm a bit more desert and Mad Max branded, really.
Over to you, Stig. What was your first? Yeah.
Well, much the same. Unfortunately, I think I did fall for the critical pasting that the that the original theatrical release got, so I sort of avoided it like the plague. But I've sort of come around to it since then. It's still way below Mad Max as far as I'm concerned, but it has its place in the. I mean, I didn't realize that George Miller produced it. I'm really impressed with that. Really, really quite surprised. That was very good of him to do that for you, Rick and Julia. Obviously, he heard you would like to be running out of material, so I thought what we'll do is we'll rip off Mad Max 2.
Right. and over to you, Skelly. Did you? What was your initial thoughts?
Well, it's been years since I've seen it, and I was still a child, I think, when I actually saw it, so it has been that long. I'd like Dennis Hopper as a villain.
Oh,
he was very good.
Yeah, definitely.
He's always a good villain. Always. Well.
So a quick question. So I've seen the Ulysses cut, which I thought was 10 times better than the original. Was just made a lot more sense. Rick and Julia, which is your favourite version? What is the Ulysses cut? Because you guys know everything. You are a walking encyclopedia. Seriously, you ask these two guys.
Google when you have Rick.
Yeah, seriously, Rick pub quiz. Yeah. So definitely. So, what is the Ulysses cut, and should people go and see it or watch it?
So, the Ulysses cut started off as a fan edit because you had the original theatrical cut of the movie, you had the version of the movie that was shown on television, and then you had a spattering of deleted scenes that were omitted from both of those versions. And so some enterprising fans got together, they took the footage from the theatrical version, they pulled out the stuff from the TV version, dropped it into the movie, they grabbed the deleted scenes, dropped it into that, and they created what was called the Ulysses cut. And then I want to say it was Arrow, a publishing company, that came through and said, oh, well, that's great. Let's take all of our, good quality footage and make an official version. So if you are going out and looking at the Blu-rays and the DVDs, I believe the extended cut and the Ulysses cut are essentially the same thing. It just matters what version of the disc that you can get. But if you have the option and the 3 hours required to watch it, I would say the Ulysses cut is the superior version.
Absolutely. It is so much better.
Wow. Also online, guys, let us know what you think. Mad Max or Waterworld. Put your votes up, and also if you have seen the Ulysses cut, if you will let us know what you think. I think let's get this party started, shall we? So what we've got, Rick, you're very good at talking, and you're very good, and Patrick, you're very good at talking. So what we've got a competition every week called Celebrity Thunderdome. So Celebrity Thunderdome, what it is. Dun, dun, dun. We're going to have Godzilla versus King Kong. So the idea of the game, it's very, very entertaining for all of us, is Rick, we will give you 30 seconds to convince the audience why King Kong would win in the fight. Okay. And then after that, Skelly, who's actually really good at this, you've got Godzilla. And then here he's got 30 seconds to explain to the audience why Godzilla's going to win. Everybody votes, and then at the end of the show, we come out with who wins the Celebrity Thunderdome for tonight. Does that all make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Rick, are you ready, sir? Are you ready?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Okay, so Rick, you have 30 seconds to explain to the audience why King Kong would beat Godzilla in the Thunderdome. Over to you.
All right. I think the main thing that Kong has going for him is the, I guess, assumed superior intellect of the ape over the lizard. Sure, Kong may lack things like atomic breath and a prehensile tail, but he has opposable thumbs, and he can use tools in order to outsmart, outwit, let's say outplay Godzilla in a mortal throwdown.
That's very, very strong. Over to you, Skelly. I didn't quite know what else to say on that, but that's very, very strong. Over to you, Skelly. You have your 30 seconds, and it starts now.
Strong, certainly a word. It comes down to talk about atomic breath versus breath that whiffs slightly of bananas. So this has got this breath that can level skyscrapers versus, oh, have you been eating bananas? And Godzilla is the king of the monsters. You know, he's taken on Biollante. He's taken on various mechanized versions of himself. He's taken on a version of himself from space, and he's come back in movie after movie after movie. King Kong died after falling off a building. So, all you have to do is trip him.
Tripping. Okay then, guys, we now leave that to the audience. Audience, please vote. It's either going to be King Kong or Godzilla for the Celebrity Thunderdome. Did you believe you were even going to be doing anything like that on a YouTube show ever? Possibly not. Possibly not.
Yeah, possibly not.
Possibly not. Okay, so a quick round robin then. So who is
See
your
what the guys say.
Yeah, exactly. So over to you then, Julia first. So Julia, who's your favourite character in Waterworld and why?
The Deacon. In this movie, the villains and the villain gang is so much more interesting than the supposed good guys. He just has so much humor and wit about him. He's delightful to watch.
That is a very good answer. Rick, over to you, sir.
Oh, well, the Deacon was already taken. So I'm going to default back to the Deacon's second in command. I actually really like the Nord because he doesn't have all of the responsibility that Deacon has to lead. And so he's allowed to just go around and essentially do whatever he wants. He does that recon. He gets to hang out at the bar and be all cavalier about that. He is constantly drunk on the D's, which is just so entertaining. And no matter how many times you try to kill him, he just keeps coming back until the finale.
That's a good one. Over to you, Skellywig.
Well, I don't know all the names, but I really like the big fish they all eat partway through because he nourishes everyone. And
Yeah,
they used all the parts of him too, so that's
that
no
one.
waste.
I'm with you on that, Skelly.
It's a good fish.
It's a good one. So over to you, Mechanized. Can you remember any of them, or
Yeah, the fishy one.
you like the fishy one
You
as
can't
well?
have the fish if the Deacon was taken.
No.
Dude's a unique character.
I'm seeing a bit of a tag team on this one.
Yeah.
What about Toby?
What is?
He's called Mark.
No, Toby, what do you think of the eye, Toby? Okay, did you not get that
memories
joke?
up, as you know.
Yeah, she didn't get that joke
I
at all.
did, but I don't want to talk about it.
You don't want
I
to
have
talk.
to see my therapist about it.
Okay. Okay, over to you then, Stig. Do you have a favourite from the show?
If I can't have Dennis Hopper, and I like to have Dennis Hopper whenever I can, I would go with Jack Black's smoker plane pilot because it's Jack Black, basically.
I didn't know Jack Black was in there. Is Jack Black in it?
He is.
Is he? I didn't recognise you. Seriously.
So that is another
somebody
reason
mute
why
their
you
own
watch
thing.
the extended version.
Yeah.
Because in the theatrical cut of the movie, he shows up like a handful of times, barely says anything. In the extended cut, you actually get to see him like in the room with Dennis Hopper, and he's bawling his eyes out because of the interaction that they had with the Trimaran.
Oh my God. I must admit, my favourite is the little depth gauge bloke. Awesome.
Yes, absolutely.
The little bloke in the boat. You know, how much is left? just awesome. So, also, has anybody here in the group or online got any of the collectibles from Waterworld? Is there any collectibles? And there's only one person we can ask. That is Rick, the man of knowledge, the universal knowledge. And also, does anybody own anything? Does anybody own a prop online or on their team today?
Well,
from Waterworld?
we know Wasteland did own one, which they then put into ashes.
So what happened with that? What happened with that mechanized? Just before we carry on, so what happened to the D's?
I think it went on the clouds of Valhalla last year. I think at Wastelands, after Wastelands. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was because it was made out of wood. It was sort of deteriorating rather a lot and was becoming rather unsafe.
It was dangerous.
It was very dangerous. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So, Rick, are there any toys or collectibles? We all want a Funko Pop, which I don't think there is. But Rick, Rick Stroke, Mr. Google, as we like to call him now. Are there any?
Oh boy, are there ever. So there is a YouTube channel that is criminally undersubscribed, and it is simply called The Atoll. So go on YouTube into the search bar, type in The Atoll. It is the channel with 400 some odd subscribers at this point. But there are t-shirts, there are knickknacks, there are action figures, there are play sets. And what I love about his channel is that he has a specific highlight video for each toy that was made by the Kenner Company. So you've got the Trimaran toy, you've got the Mariner toy, you've got the Nord toy, the Deacon toy, like all of it. And not only does he go through all of the toys, but he talks about the collectibles. He's got the what do you call those water bags that are kind of like kidney shaped, and they got the little plastic thing at the top? Like one of those was made as a promo item. Yeah, and he's got it. And I don't know, like, he must scour eBay for stuff like this to just get all that he can. But he's an excellent individual.
Do you reckon the prices are very expensive, or is it like bargain bin kind of stuff?
I mean, I'm looking at a Mariner action figure right now. The starting bid on eBay is only $5.
Ooh.
So, if you're in the market for it, you could very easily get one for pretty cheap.
I've got to get one. I think.
Get the Wave Ripper. Get the Wave Ripper.
So,
Go on.
Mark, can you just, in fact, a little unknown thing is the UK. Could you put the boat picture up, Mark? So, in the UK, we actually had our own version of Waterworld, and we're just waiting for Mr. Stig. He's there any moment, hopefully.
Yeah.
Or he's not.
I've got to think about this.
Oh dear, that's never good. Sorry, everybody listening or watching from home. This is.
Well, I was trying to be clever and show you that last one, but you completely ignored that.
I did actually.
I'm not going to play you again.
It's the magic of show business.
Okay, are we ready? So so Rick and Julia and everybody online, the UK actually had their own version of Waterworld, and it's Boaty McBoatface.
Yep. This was a classic. Instead of Kevin Costner, we have Michael Gove.
Yeah.
With his great big chin.
So Stig, can you explain what the hell Boaty McBoatface was? It's a legendary thing in the UK. It was actually very, very funny, but.
Yeah, well, it was an attempt by the British film industry to cash in on Waterworld. They found they got this Isle of Wight ferry knocking about, which they tried to recreate as the Exxon Valdez, but it became Boaty McBoatface instead. David Attenborough wasn't around, so he got kicked out of it. And Gregor's balloon was provided by Richard Branson, so that ended up in the water, of course. But as far as the actual story goes, Smoker's jet ski. Must remember Smoker's jet ski, an inflatable paddleboard with a slow puncture. That's as far as and at that point the money ran out, and James Bond wanted the pond back for the next film.
I take it you're making all of this up, Stig, aren't you?
No, it's all on Wikipedia.
Oh, Wikipedia. So I think the initial story was we had the government. We were having a new, was it naval vessel? A new
vessel.
Oh, which one, Pat?
Research vessel.
A research vessel for the
It
Navy.
said on the picture, Paul, research vessel.
It was the
no,
Arctic,
it was a different
it?
one. It was like a Navy boat, I think, initially. And what they actually did, they mistakenly asked the British public, what should we call this Navy destroyer? And unanimously, everybody in the UK, having quite a warped sense of humour, come out with Boaty McBoatface. And obviously, the Royal Navy was not too impressed with that. And they, you can't call a destroyer or whatever Boaty McBoatface. Can you imagine that in war? We are being shot at by Boaty McBoatface and Sam Submarine. It's like, but it's a brilliant one. So they refused to use that name, but then I think David Attenborough said, "Well, I've got this polar research vessel. I'll use the name." So he was good old David Attenborough. So
yeah, applause for David Attenborough.
Yeah,
well done.
So given if the British public have a choice. They call things like Boaty McBoatface. So there you go.
Well, that was a more controversial referendum than bloody Brexit.
I thought my story was better.
It is definitely. Mechanized. So, any funny stories? So, when you were on the podcast, was there anything?
I don't think we should give that away.
We won't give that one away.
They need to listen to the podcast. If I now tell all our secrets,
we won't explain the secrets. But Rick, were you surprised at Mechanized's story? Her real. Did you see that one coming by any chance?
I didn't.
I definitely did not see it coming. I did not have it in mind when I invited you on for that specific episode. I mean, we eventually got around to why Mechanized wears boots at Wasteland Weekend. I was familiar with that story.
Yeah.
Did not see the other one coming. It sort of popped out of nowhere and surprised everybody.
Yes.
Even me. I still see the therapist, as I said earlier.
We're going to wait till February for that.
Yeah.
Oh, hell.
It was very good fun though. We had a great laugh. The question back to you guys: would you ever invite us back, or are we now on the ban list?
Oh heavens no! We'd have you back in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
it was great fun.
I'm not in the habit of having people on more than once in a season, which is admittedly not a 100% true statement. But I only have so many spots for each season. So if we somehow find another movie after Waterworld, of course, we would absolutely invite you back in a heartbeat.
What kind of guests or which guests have you also had on?
There is a very active community of other podcasters who do the minute-by-minute treatment to a huge variety of movies. There's a website. What's it called, Rick?
It's just called moviesbyminutes.com.
Yeah, moviesbyminutes.com has a listing. We do our best to keep it up to date of all of the movies that have been done minute by minute.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a very active group. So we tend to pull from that group mostly because we know what the deal is with each other.
Yeah.
It can be interesting to try and explain this concept of we're going to take 1 minute of a movie and talk about it for a half an hour. It can be odd.
It's an odd sell.
Yeah, it's an odd sell.
Which is why we usually go within our own sphere. But we've also reached out. We've sat down with Dana Grant for an episode. We had Mark
Sexton.
He was on the full first week of Fury Road. That was
several
excellent.
episodes.
I sat down with George Miller for about an hour. Oh, wow. So that was pretty great.
Yes, that was very, very awesome. We talked to Emil too, right? Is that just in my head?
No. You are imagining that we talked to Emil Minty. I don't believe he got any of my emails.
Oh, no. We talked to one of the waiting ones.
So we talked to the kid from Beyond Thunderdome who got sucked into the quicksand. I can't remember his name off the top of my head because we recorded that back in 2018.
Yeah.
Good to know he made it out alive.
Yep.
He did.
That's good.
He got to tell us what it was like to fake die in quicksand. And we've also sat down with Yuri Lowenthal and Travis Sentel from the You Are Awaited podcast. They did Mad Max Fury Road 4 minutes at a time when we were still cutting our teeth on the first Mad Max movie.
Yep.
But they're pretty great because Yuri is a big time voice actor in video games and Hollywood, and Travis is a Hollywood writer. So they are a huge amount of fun to hang out with.
Awesome. So, Mark, and Mechanized, is there any questions from online? If people want to post their questions in, or if anybody's got any Waterworld collectibles or stories?
Well, just a quick update on the ape versus lizard. There's not a lot of ape love going on, I'm afraid. I think.
Could you say that again? Could you say that again, please, Stig? I didn't quite catch the first.
Going on.
Well, it's a
summary of
ape show for that.
Off tower block, I think, rather sort of killed it.
Not a lot of ape
You're
love.
the king, baby.
Also, just a quick one as well, guys. if you're all looking at your calendars and the countdown, there's only 3 days to go to the big day, so we're super, super excited. And I hope everybody out there really is. So it's not Christmas, it's The Expanse Season 5! Yes! Only the best sci-fi show on TV, Amazon Plus. I love it. We're hopefully going to get somebody from The Expanse on, but I can't say any more, but I'm excited. So,
Amazon Plus. Have you just invented another streaming channel?
I have. There's some unknown streaming channel. Amazon Plus. Not sure who they are.
Apple Plus Disney Flix. I know that one. Yeah. Got it. Drono-Vision. That's what it's going to be, isn't it?
Drono-Vision.
How much should I pay you? $5.
Well, no, it is good. If people
a flip book in front of the camera.
If people have never seen The Expanse, it is the best sci-fi TV show ever made, ever. It is amazing. So season 5's just coming out. It's not that I'm a fan or anything, but it's amazing. It really is awesome.
You're a bit of a fan, aren't you?
I am a bit of a fan. And also, just a quick one on TV, just coming out in the UK, is Raised by Wolves on HBO. And have you seen that? Anybody else? Rick, Julia, Skelly, Stig, recognised?
Oh yeah, I have. Yes,
amazing, absolutely amazing. Yeah,
but yeah,
outstanding.
So far, brilliant.
It is. It is stunning. It looks amazing. It's Ridley Scott was involved with it. He didn't write it; somebody else did. But it's very similar to Prometheus. But it looks.
Can we keep the whole thing going over the whole series? Because
it does. I've watched the entire series because I got that hooked on it, and it's good. It is amazing. Something totally different, unlike any other show out there, I would say.
Yeah, I was watching the first one. I thought about sort of 3/4 way through. I can see where. Oh no, it's not. It's gone completely over there somewhere, which is always a good thing. And then the second one had the same sort of thing as well. You think, oh yeah, I know. No, I don't know. No. That's not what's going to happen.
No, totally.
So yeah, and being Ridley Scott, it's just the aesthetics and the cinematography and the design is just mind blowing. Superb. The quality is fantastic.
Absolutely mind blowing. So, Mechanized, are you watching anything at the moment? Anything you could recommend to people out there?
Well, yeah, Mandalorian.
Oh.
But actually, I watch at the moment Mr. May in Japan. This is actually really good on Amazon. I started that. It's really just like something totally different. So not TV or, just like travel adventure because I can't go. So I'm at the moment at that kind of shows. Yeah. So I'm watching that. Can recommend it. And I want to go to Japan. Just saying.
Definitely. Skelly, are you watching anything at the moment?
Well, I've just finished watching Truth Seekers on Amazon Plus One with Nick Frost.
That was good
Simon
as well.
Pegg.
Yes.
That was actually good.
I enjoyed that.
It's also lovely to see Julian Barrett from the Mighty Boosh.
Yes.
Right.
Is the main bad guy. So, Rick, Julia, have you seen that at all? Do you know the Mighty Boosh?
I can't say I
have.
Gosh.
Yeah. Well, then it's a must.
It's
get it in.
Yeah, we have to send you over some things to watch. The Mighty Boosh. It was like a UK.
Go on. You try and explain this one. This should be interesting.
It's like a
Yeah, you
I am all ears.
It's a sitcom where there's
it's like Monty Python meets space.
Yeah.
With any sort of with a lot of
there's like a flamboyant guy, Vince, and then there's his mate who's super dull and likes jazz music called Howard, and they're familiar, which is a gorilla called Bono, and it's
not going to come out. No,
but it is really good. You should definitely check out the Mighty Boosh.
A lot of ape love going on in there.
Yeah. Also, if anybody,
that's true. Yeah, ape love.
Yeah, there's ape love on that. So anybody online, if you remember the Mighty Boosh, they were on about it. It was coming back. So I'm not sure if it is or not. So back to Waterworld. Back to Waterworld. So on your podcast. So first of all, where can people find the podcast?
So the best place to find our podcast is by going to our website, which is just madmaxminute.com. I do my best to make sure that we are on all of the podcatching websites. So iTunes, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, all of that nonsense. But if you just want one location, madmaxminute.com. And not only can you find the Waterworld episodes, but you can find all of the other movies as well, because we try very hard to make sure that The episodes are evergreen that you can go back and listen to any season you want and not have it be overly bogged down with, oh, today is Tuesday, X amount of day from whatever month in this year. We want it to be perennial.
How many episodes have you recorded?
Oh,
Are you the Joe Rogan of the Mad Max world?
Yeah, they've got that amount of money.
hundreds, definitely hundreds.
Wow.
Okay, well, you asked the people what they're watching at the moment, and I'm a little bit shocked by Mr. Hammer Sam. He's watching the Love Show, whatever that is.
The what?
What? Yeah, the Love Show. I'm a bit.
I don't even know what the Love Show is. Yeah, that's probably on a different channel. That's probably a pay-per-view channel.
Proper Hammer time there, possibly. Yeah.
Okay. Do we have any others?
Oh, the
Bush has a go, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, Black is at work. Yeah. Truth Seekers. What's that, Nathan? Truth Seekers.
No, Patrick's seen Truth Seekers on Amazon. Very good, Mark. You have to watch it.
Pat,
I've seen it as well.
How would you sum that up if you were trying to sell it to Rick and Julia? What is Truth Seekers?
Well, if I was trying to sell it to these two, I'd tell it's about someone who actually does, a YouTube channel or podcast about the supernatural. And he uncovers kind of a wacky, bizarre plot involving dead people and ghosts and souls and all sorts of bizarre stuff. And also, I think it's Malcolm McDowell plays his dad.
And Simon Pegg's in it as well. He's co-wrote it, I think.
Yeah, there was Pegg and Frost, the old duo, but it's mainly Nick Frost. Pegg's just in a supporting role, and it's very funny.
Nice.
And by the way, drummer Nick from LA is online as well. Hello, Nick.
Hello, Nick.
He's listening to us in the studio.
And he knows the Bush as well. Yeah, he's in the studio.
Yeah. So Rick and Julia, as well as watching 2 minutes of Waterworld at a time, do you actually rewatch that 2 minutes to prep yourself for your show?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I watch it to prep. I watch the 2 minutes on loop for a good half hour.
Do you ever cheat in case something really cool happens on like 2 minutes 1 second?
No. No, absolutely not.
Wash your mouth out. Very short.
Oh yeah, we have had so many episodes where lines of dialogue have been chopped in half and complete action scenes have been completely ground to a halt, and I'm like, no, we have to stop.
It's part of the fun.
We cannot proceed.
Yeah.
Now there is the Crimson Brigade 13 Candles described the Mighty Bush as psychedelic sitcom.
Okay.
Oh, it's definitely psychedelic.
Yeah, it's
definitely psychedelic. That's it.
That's a good one. Yeah. That is a good one. But I must admit, with Waterworld as well, having rewatched it, the costumes and the practical effects, the scenery and stuff are just stunning. I wonder, is there many people out there doing any cosplay for this stuff? Because I haven't seen any at Comic-Cons, but there must be people out there doing this stuff. Rick, being the authority on everything Google-wise in the world, is there a big scene for it? Or Julia? And also, do you guys ever dress up? Do you have post-apocalyptic gear? What do you get out there with your cosplay?
No,
I am not a cosplayer.
Okay.
Definitely not. Rick's done some.
Yeah, I've done a few. I've never done anything post-apocalyptic, but I do have a Brando style leather jacket, and I went and I got the Main Force Patrol badge that I hung on the lapel. So I do, in a way, have a Main Force Patrol jacket. It's just incredibly basic. And I only wear it when it's not freezing cold out, because then the leather stiffens up. But I imagine that there's not a lot of Waterworld cosplayers out there, because most of those costumes are incredibly uncomfortable looking.
Yeah.
I can't imagine willingly subjecting yourself to that. For one thing, if you want to do a Waterworld cosplay, you've got to get the ski boots to stomp around in, and I don't think anybody likes stomping around in ski boots.
That's why God invented snowboarding.
Yeah, for people who don't know, this is Stig in his previous life, being a guy from England, which is well known for having absolutely no mountains, no snow. Started off a magazine called Snowboard UK, which was really, really famous. So, yeah, a quick one over to you, Stig.
Birmingham, in the middle of the country.
Yeah, in the middle of Birmingham, in the middle of the country, with no snow, no hills, decided to do a snowboard magazine. First of all, on Stig, why? What possessed you?
I wanted to.
The most natural thing to do.
The third time in 6 years, and thought, and I've been writing and photographing snowboard and skateboard stuff for a couple of years for other people. And I met up with another guy who, when we just co-founded the magazine, we thought, sod it, no one else is going to do it, we'll do it. And then we had to learn how to do page layout and stuff within about 2 issues.
Oh, wow.
So it was an exciting time. All with that sort of punk ethos of, well, just cut and paste and do it and get it out there.
Oh my God! So,
there's a lot to be said for doing things that just because no one told you not to. I mean,
yeah.
We did 4 seasons, 415 episodes specifically because no one said 1 minute at a time. That's a terrible idea. And it's not a terrible idea. Let me make that abundantly clear.
Yeah, but what happens if you're watching the film and there's just like they're in the sea? That's it, you know.
Oh,
no talking. Just like nothing happens for that 2 minutes. Trees.
So this has happened to us.
Yes.
It was the first time that I remember it happening was in the very first movie, the original Mad Max. Goose gets on his motorcycle and just rides for minutes. There's no dialogue. There's no scenery. Nothing is happening except that he is riding on his motorcycle down the road.
Yeah.
So did you then comment on the gear changes and the throttling?
Yes,
the leather.
Yeah. It's a round wheel.
We talked about the markings on the bike and how fast he was going. And we pulled every detail that we possibly could out of that, and we stretched it out to probably like 20 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
wow.
No matter how boring a scene may look on the surface, once you start digging in,
it. Yeah,
there's stuff there. There's absolutely stuff there.
It's especially fun when you start looking into the behind the scenes stuff, because for that scene specifically, we got to talk about how they took the 40-pound camera and the 180-pound cameraman and just put it on the back of the bike. And so when you get those POV shots, it's because they've got the camera right there on the bike. So there are cool things that we can pull out of the ether. We have an upcoming recording where the 2 minutes that we are watching for the episode involve Kevin Costner plucking a cherry tomato, placing it on the deck of the boat, cutting that in half, cutting those in half, eating both of those. It's incredibly boring. The only redeeming part of that 2 minutes is that oh gosh, I hate it when names fall out of my head. But Triplehorn gets to crawl across the boat and shout at Kevin Costner about this newcomer that they've spotted in the distance. Maybe he has some food. And the way she reads those lines is so entertaining. It kind of redeems the episode for us.
Have you ever wanted to make stuff up and just chuck it in there, see if the audience spot it? So he's eating his tomato when a UFO flies over the top. Or is that just
I don't
my
know.
sense
That's
of
a
humor?
little dangerous with our crowd. Like, some of the people who listen to us are diehard fans who have a real passion for Mad Max. And when we get things wrong, we are told we get things wrong.
Yeah. We have one specific listener who has been with us seemingly from the start, and he joined up on our Facebook listener group. We have a main page on Facebook, which is just facebook.com/Mad Max Minute. But then we have a group specifically called Mad Max Minute Beyond Microphone, because I get to be clever sometimes. But he's always in there after every episode commenting little things here and there. And we made a comment on our bonus content through Patreon. We were talking about Salute of the Jugger, and we were like, man, Yuki's burned. Do you remember Lord Vile? And we're like, no, we don't remember Lord Vile. And he got on the group and he's like, how could you not remember Lord Vile? He's the best. And I'm like, because he's not important to the overall narrative of the story, man.
I must admit,
It's you.
yeah, we do have that when we do gigs. We've played gigs in Germany where I've been corrected by a fan after the gig that I sang the lyrics wrong on certain and I'm like, oh yes, possibly.
They're completely wrong.
Completely wrong. Mechanized, have you had any entertainment from the public telling you that you've got gigs? Any of the lyrics wrong, or I think you're more into sort of falling off the stage or falling over monitors is your thing.
Diving off the stage.
Well, yeah. I think my favorite one, I think it was at Asylum, which was like over the monitors, but in slow motion. It was like the most, yeah. There were sometimes some episodes.
I remember one gig we did when Mr. Stig had been drinking rather a lot and decided to come. Would you like to explain to the audience what sort of happened, or what you thought was going on?
I've been thinking what happened.
Yeah.
Well, I got an 8 foot long boom pole, me.
Oh,
And I got a GoPro on the end of it, and I was trying to use it like a crane across the stage behind whoever the drummer was at the time. Unfortunately, due to the technical hitch known as cider, everything from about my waist down seemed to be heading off in the field in a different direction, and I just sort of fell over.
So then Mark had this very expensive 8-foot stick with a camera on the top, which was like a banana shape at the end, which is really, really funny. So you've got this very drunk guy, possibly holding it the wrong way round, completely banana shape. Don't worry, Kev, you're on. It's all going well. It's like, oh dear. Why us?
Go on.
What was that gig? It wasn't Blood. What was it?
I can't remember.
It was over Hereford way, wasn't it? So it was cheap cider.
It was.
And there was that double-decker cocktail bus as well.
There was.
That could have been it as well.
Oh my! Well, that's never a good thing. Just a quick one out there for everybody. A big shout out to Paul Voodoo and Voodoo's Attic Shop. We will put the link up on this site. I don't know if is he online. Has anybody seen Voodoo?
I think I've seen him earlier. Yeah, Mr. Voodoo was there somewhere.
So a big shout out to Voodoo's Attic. So if you go onto his web shop, he does collectibles. We'll have to check and see if he's got any Waterworld stuff, because I am now in the mood to purchase. But if you buy anything over £15, when you go out, there's a voucher, and if you type in Freak Show, you get 10% off everything. So big heads up, and thank you very much, Paul, for that one. So that's awesome. So
especially before Christmas, when you have to get your presents in, there you go. You have a discount and get your presents there.
Definitely. The comics going really well as well. So as I said, thank you everybody for that. So we're all funded. And PJ, we had PJ on last week, who's the main artist from Ireland, who's really, really funny. Couldn't get a word in edgeways. The guy. So we told him to go back to your table and carry on drawing. So big shout out to PJ and Dave and all the rest of the crew out there. So that's really good. So Patrick, what have you been doing this week? It looks like you've been painting stuff.
Yeah, and that I'm working. It's all I've been doing for about the last 9 months. But hey ho. Oh, and a little bit of drinking, just sampling the Christmas cocktails.
Oh, what have you been drinking, Pat?
Oh, well, I've rediscovered my love for chocolate orange Negroni because I have chocolate orange gin.
Patrick, would you like to sing Rick and Julia your Christmas song? Because I don't think they've seen it.
Oh, well, I guess so.
Are you ready? Hold on. Not yet. Rick, Julia, are you ready for this? Are you ready for the?
Hold on tight to your seats.
Are you ready? So Pat is going to sing you a special Christmas song, just specially for you guys.
All right.
Well, I was going to set the mood by reading an M.R. James ghost story in a big leather-bound chair.
You can do that in a minute anyway. You can do that
well,
later.
I've got a leather-bound chair all the time on the show, so I was just going to go with the traditional Christmas fright with my lovely festive song. Oh, you better watch out. You better watch out. You better watch out. You better watch out.
Well, there you go.
Feel all tinsely now. Do you feel tinsely all over?
Very tinsely.
Are you wearing your tinsel pants, Patrick? by any chance?
We don't talk about that.
We
now.
don't talk about that on live on air. I'm very, very sorry.
That's on a different show where people have to pay.
So back to Rick and Julia. So on the podcast, so whereabouts in the film are you currently on?
So
as in live, yeah.
We just released episode 19 this past Tuesday. Let's see. Episode 19 is, I believe, the second episode into the attack on the atoll. So we're right around the point where everybody's running around like chickens with their heads cut off. Nobody knows what's to doing. And Dennis Hopper has arrived on the scene, and he has given the order for his smokers to give him the key to the city, which means that it's time to unleash the Hellfire gunboat, which just decimates the wall of the atoll. Oh. So many squibs. I love it.
A big shout out to everybody online. So a quick question for everybody online. Who would win in a fight between War Boys or Smokers?
Oh, yes. I want to know the answer to this one.
We want to know. So first of all, let's go around all our guests. So first of all, let's start off with Julia. War Boys or Smokers, and why?
I'm going to go with War Boys because fanaticism can be a strong motivator. And I think the War Boys are more indoctrinated in their particular cult of personality than the Smokers are.
Oh, very good, very good. Over to you, Rick.
See, my question always when this thing comes up is, what surface are they fighting on? Like, are you putting War Boys on boats, or are you putting Smokers in cars?
I think what we would do is we'd put them all on snow to make it neutral.
Make it neutral.
How about that?
That's perfect.
Or individual biplanes in the sky.
So yeah, so you imagine it's a snowball fight between War Boys and Smokers. Who would win?
Even in that situation, I think I would still have to give it to the War Boys, because even though the War Boys are cancer-ridden fail sons, they at least don't smoke, which means any sort of cardio, they are going to have the advantage. Because you know those Smokers, as soon as they have to run for too long, they're going to be wheezing and dying, trying to get a grip on things.
Very, very good. Very, very good answer. Over to you, Mechanized. So also, guys, please answer. Put your comments in the comments below, please. Mechanized. Snowball fight,
obviously.
War Boys, Smokers.
War Boys, obviously, because they're fully trained, all muscly, all like gang ready. You know, they're team workers, where the Smokers are just like pissed, smoking. They're now sitting around on the boat and getting fat and have no muscles at all. So what a question.
Well, controversial. Stig.
Oh, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because yeah, I don't smoke, but I know somebody who did. They didn't inhale, of course. I would go with the War Boys still, because I mean, a white shade of pale, and they got explosives and things instead of just.
I'm not sure what that is, but I'll go with that. Skelly, what do you reckon? War Boys or Smokers? We haven't had a smoker so far.
I'm not going to buck the trend. I'm going to say War Boys for two reasons. Firstly, smoking's very bad, kids.
Yeah.
And secondly, we really don't want to piss off the Tribal Alliance now, do we?
Well, that's true. That's true.
Let's not rock the boat.
And I think from my side, I would vote for. My vote would go for the War Boys for a couple of reasons. First of all, they're white, so they would blend in with the snow, so you wouldn't be able to see them. I can't believe nobody's come out with that idea. That's bloody brilliant, that is. So they could sneak around, and they'd be like, what's that? It's just like, ha-ha! Like that. Also, they've got...
wouldn't they get a bit cold, though?
They would get a bit cold. So, yeah, they wouldn't last very long, but they would
The paint is insulated. It's all right.
Yeah. Also, they have normally like big cargo pants, so they can put extra snowballs in there. Carry more snowballs. That's always cool, with the odd bit of ice in
Have you
there.
ever tried that?
Well, yeah, well, not really. But you know, when you were a kid, when you had a snowball fight, and you always put that like big chunk of ice in the middle and then lobbed it at your mate's head.
No, Kevin.
Oh, okay.
Say more. I never did that. Tell me more.
That was last week. That was last week, wasn't it?
That was last week. I think, yeah. Okay. And I think the Smokers as well. Also, a good tactic with the Smokers. All you got to do is go, guys, there's cigarettes over there, and they'd be like, they'd be like, oh, where? And then, snowball back of the head. You've won.
If there's one thing in the category for the War Boys, if they're trying to hide in the snow, their chattering teeth are going to give away their position.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's what teeth they have left.
That is a very good point. Also, just a quick one to everybody. Well, thanks a lot to everybody out there, all our fans, all the cult of V2A, everybody who's watching the channel, and guys, because of you make all these shows, because you can't do epic shit with basic people. Guys, you guys are epic. So we love everybody out there, all our listeners, all the cult of V2A. You guys are epic. If you were all dull people, then there would be nothing and we wouldn't be able to cause as much chaos as we do. So back over to Mechanized. A quick question to you. What is your most chaotic experience or most trouble you've caused at one of the festivals? Because she is well known for chaos follows her everywhere.
I don't know where to start. I don't know.
Just
Help
give
me. Can you remember one? I don't know. I don't.
Mainly at Wasteland Weekend, you've caused major issues.
Me?
Yes.
How about
I didn't cause
how about
issues.
the time you chromed somebody from a famous band in Leipzig?
He wanted to be chromed. He wanted to be chromed.
Oh,
Yeah,
did
that's what
he?
he said afterwards.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Hold on. Would you like to just explain a bit more,
Go on,
Mechanized?
explain that
So,
one.
yeah. Well.
No, we played at Wave Gothic Treffen in Germany, I think 2018, and we
How
were
many
on the
people?
around 10,000, and it's where we played like Saturday night together with Rotersand, VNV Nation, and there was another one I can't remember. Well, us four, we played Agra-Halle, which is one of the main venues at VGT. So afterwards, we met backstage with Ronan from VNV Nation, and he wanted to join the cult of V2A. So we had to witness him, and he joined.
And did he know what was actually going to happen when you sprayed him in the face with silver car spray?
Yeah, he couldn't wait. He couldn't wait. He was so hyped by it, and it tasted good as well. So yeah, plus.
So,
that was a good one.
that was actually a really, really good one.
Well, I only shouted, and I think it was Steph actually who really witnessed him.
Steph.
I just did the powering up, and she did the work.
We've got a video of that, haven't we?
Yeah, we
that
have
is
somewhere.
crazy. So, Rick and Julia, are you going to Wasteland Weekend? Can we entice you over to the dusty LA or
I do
Mojave
believe
Desert?
we can be enticed. It is something we would definitely love to do. It's a cross-country trip for us, so there'd be some logistics to figure out, but plenty of people figure out those logistics, so we can too.
Oh yeah, we've been planning a big West Coast trip for a long time. And part of that West Coast trip has been, okay, when is Wasteland Weekend? What are the logistics? Where are we going to be on the West Coast? How can we get out there? And it's absolutely something that's been on our to-do list for the past 3 years at least.
Wow. You should. It's like nothing else on the planet. It's absolutely stunning. So a quick question over to Stig. So at Wasteland Weekend, you do have your own alter ego. Is it White Panther? Could you explain a bit? Is he still there? No, he's gone. He's gone.
Because he knows you'll be no.
He's
So he's all
mortified.
just
I think we killed him.
He's
Oh, he's back. He's back.
He didn't want to talk. That's what it was.
God, no.
Walt Disney.
Yeah, what is White Panther? And just to pre-warn everybody.
There are panthers in the desert. You witnessed it.
They're on top of the RV in the morning.
Could you say that again? Because you were breaking up.
Are you alluding to my fairy footsteps on the top of the RV?
Yes, yes. Where did
Well, I was nice photographs. I can't help it if the bloody roof of the RV is made of a trampoline material. And it was right on top of your bedroom.
Yeah, so Stig has this. He's got this cat-like prowess. So if he sees anything large and tall, he's got to climb up and then try and take a photo from the top of it. But because he's not the most dainty,
Tank's had taken off a few times.
Yeah. He does go under the nickname of White Panther, which is which is very, very dangerous. So, Skelly, over to you. What is your best moment from Wasteland Weekend? You've had quite a lot.
Probably the captain's red pants.
There must be.
Citadel.
Could you explain to the public what Captain's red? Who is Captain and what is this red pants?
The captain is the former leader of the War Boys tribe and a very good friend of ours, and the rest of it comes from very hazy memories because it was our first, I think it was our first night at Wasteland Weekend.
Yeah.
We've been passing on the firewater, so my hazy memories of the night are dancing with drunk with War Boys on top of the Exxon Valdez, and at some point during our glorious dancing, the captain decided to take his trousers off, and he was wearing bright red underpants underneath, and all
while
around,
pole dancing.
even people not in the desert, I think, could see that faintly in the distance. Yeah, so that was a wonderful moment.
So the leader of the War Boys is sometimes known as Captain Red Pants, but that's only to friends. So big shout out. We won't mention any names, so big shout out.
You, Captain.
Yeah, big shout out, Michael. So, Rick and Julia, do you have any Waterworld merchandise or collectibles? Come on, you must have. You've spoken about it now for 14 hours, 15 hours. What do you own?
So, when we first got introduced to the Trimaran in the episodes that we were talking about, I jumped on eBay and I said, "Oh, look at that. It's a Trimaran toy for only $20. And Julia's like, "You should get it." And I was like, "Eh." And I'm a bit ashamed to say that we have yet to purchase any Waterworld paraphernalia.
Yeah, I do feel a little lacking, although it has taken us a very long time to get into the Mad Max paraphernalia. We don't even have that much of that. But we do have, there are novelization versions of the movie.
All right, yeah, I guess these technically count as...
Yes, they do.
In error, at first we got the young adult edition.
It
was the YA edition, which is very small.
Yeah.
God.
Very thin.
Is that spicy or not spicy?
It is very mild.
Oh, okay,
the one thing it does have going for it is the full color photos in the center. It took me a while, and I have to give a shout out to the Atoll YouTube page because they turned me on to a eBay listing where I was able to find the full 300 some odd page novelization, which includes all of the saucy bits. So you've got young adults for the sensitive folks, and then you've got the full version right here. And it includes all of the stuff like the Atollers trying to get the Mariner to sleep with a teenager, and a Helen offering her body up to the Mariner, and that part after the boat burns.
That part.
Yep.
That part, yes.
Tell me more.
Yeah.
You'll have to listen to the podcast to hear all about it.
Well, when's that? Like April 2023?
Oh, geez. Okay, so what we've done differently with this season of the podcast, because typically what we've done with the original Mad Max, it was 5 episodes a week, 93 episodes for that movie. Then for Road Warrior, we did another 5 episodes a week, 95 minutes for that. Going into Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome and Mad Max Fury Road, we cut it back to only 3 episodes a week. So for I think it was 107 episodes for Thunderdome and 120 for Fury Road.
Wow.
Like, it was 3 episodes a week. It spaced out pretty well, but it was done rather quick. What we've decided to do for Waterworld, we are watching the 3-hour cut. We're watching it 2 minutes at a time, and we're only doing 1 episode a week. And we did that on purpose because we want to give friend of the show, George Miller, plenty of time for him to finish doing 3,000 Years of Longing and then get working on either the next Mad Max or the Furiosa prequel.
Yeah. Totally.
Well, we just been invited by drummer Nick to go to the Waterworld stunt show next time we're over. So I can't wait. And then Shell said that Stick will need a cold shower after. Wonder why.
Okay, so one of the other things we're going to do just for the audience, we're all either going to come out with a fact about Waterworld or we're going to lie about a fact in Waterworld. So we do a round robin, and then everybody online can vote whether it was a truth or a lie. That sounds rather good, doesn't it? Let's start off with Rick, because Rick is he knows everything. So Rick, tell us a fact about Waterworld. You can either make it up, or it can be a real fact. But try and make it believable either way, and we will leave it to the audience to try and work out is that a truth or is it a lie.
All right. Well, here is a statement that sounds rather odd. Prior to Titanic in 1997, Waterworld was the most expensive movie ever produced.
Oh, that sounds good. Is that truth or is it a lie? We will find out later on. Julia, a truth or a lie, or whatever. Make it up or come out with a fact. Let's see how good you are at bluffing or telling the truth.
In the scene where Helen offers herself to the mariner, we get quite an excellent look at her body from behind, and that is actually Jean Triplehorn. It is actually her ass, and she looks phenomenal.
Oh my gosh. Skelly, a fact or a fib?
They didn't film on location, but they actually imported about 80,000 gallons of proper seawater to a specially made soundstage for the movie film.
Interesting. Stig?
Oh, yeah. Kevin Costner's stunt double for the water scenes was actually Joe Pasquale.
Oh dear. Mechanized.
Yeah. Well, in total, because the smokers, they had to go off and get the food in for the food scenes, so that they killed a couple of crocodiles. But then afterwards, it was said that no crocodiles really were harmed. So I don't know if the fight was real or not, but yeah.
And for me, the actual fact is because Kevin Costner was the mariner in the film and he had to really look after his look and he'd worked out a lot, he only ate cheese sandwiches for the whole shoot.
Oh, God.
Great poker face.
Awesome.
Poker face, man.
Honestly, they
That
never
sounds
get that one. They never get that. So, brilliant. Awesome. So, first of all, Rick and Julia, what are you up to for Christmas?
Oh, well, we, like most everybody should be doing here in America, we are staying home for Christmas. We're doing a lot of online web chat stuff, Secret Santa involving shipping things straight to people's homes instead of getting in person to exchange them. And
good.
Really hunkering down because we'd rather things not continue in the trajectory that they're going.
Yeah, exactly. Mechanized, any plans?
Getting fatter and fatter. I don't know. Honestly, this house sitting around and it's like not going anywhere. But it's not, even if I really wanted to go see people, it doesn't help us in the long run because, well, they're already prognosing because people going in the UK, they're actually going all mad. They're all going shopping like crazy and they're going into restaurants and parties and whatever. So they're already forecasting the third wave for January. So I'm really getting tired with this and yeah. I don't know. Plus, we get very drunk every day.
Well, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Stig, anything?
I'm going to mostly be drinking mulled wine, slow gin, and going down to HMV to buy Skelly's popular #1 Christmas single.
Nice.
When's it coming out?
Last
single,
week.
Not anything else.
I think the proper release time for a song like that is when you least expect it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But you better watch out.
You better watch out. Yeah.
Better watch out.
So, Skelly, over to you. What have you got planned for Christmas?
Same thing I do every year. Eat my body weight in mince pies and pass out on the couch.
Nice. On my side, I am carrying on with the album. We've wrote 20 new songs, and about 10 of those will be on the new album. We're just focusing in on that. We've got an awesome producer, and really, really excited. So the comic's out. So the guys are drawing the comics, so that's all done. And hopefully we're going to start finalising the second book. But over the Christmas, I just want to get on with the new album, which is super, super good. It's the best stuff we've ever done, so can't wait to get it out and around. I can't wait to start playing live again. Also, Rick and Julie, you've got to come and see us live. We've got snow cannons and war boys and Mechanized sprays people in the face with silver car spray. It's awesome.
And then goes and jumps on them.
And then jumps on them.
Yeah.
Stage dive. She does stage diving a lot in Wasteland, so that happens rather a lot. I think we are coming near to the end of the show.
No, but we have to see who then was the best-selling artist of our other truths and not truths.
Hold on. Well, yeah, we've got the answers first. So sorry about that. I was so excited. So also a big shout out to Elon Musk with his SpaceX space Starship whatever when it crashed. So if you haven't seen that, he built this massive silver spaceship. It took off earlier this week, flew around a bit like Thunderbirds, tried to land, got it a little bit wrong. Blew up. It was unmanned, so it was like radio controlled. But Elon Musk, being Elon Musk, having so much money, he just went and watch the landing because it's exciting. So not like I've just blown £50 billion. He's like, it's really cool and exciting. So if you haven't seen that, guys, look at it on YouTube because it is actually very entertaining. It goes.
Well, I know what you should have named it.
What?
Go on. Rocket Face.
Yeah.
I would have landed them.
It would have totally. So first of all, then Stig, over who won the celebrity Thunderdome? Was it King Kong or was it Godzilla? I think it's close. It's no. You got to build up the.
I can't.
Yeah,
the ape got stuffed by lizard breath, I'm afraid. Muscles lost out.
Muscles lost out.
Even though there was no Godzuki or Scrappy Doo or whatever they are.
That's very, very scary. So, did people vote on the truth or lie?
Yes. So, Rick.
Yep. They've more or less got Rick true. Julia, they hope it's true.
Let's do the round robin. Rick, was that a truth or was it a fib?
Okay, my fact was absolutely true. They spent way too much money on this movie.
Wow, that was a good one. I like that. Julia.
Now, Julia, what did the people think?
My fact was false. She had a body double.
Ooh. You see, the people thought it's true.
Yes, even though she did her own nude scenes in, I think it was Basic Instinct, she refused to do her own nude scene in Waterworld.
Yep. And she actually auditioned the body doubles herself.
She did. She chose her own ass.
But you know how Sting goes.
Don't we all just want to choose our own ass?
You know how Sting goes when it's in water for a while. I mean, come on, just imagine walnut buns.
There's got to be a joke there somewhere. So Skelly, over to you. Was yours?
No, hold on. Is Skelly next? Let's just see in the things. I'm just going down.
Thank you, Mechanized.
Yes, Skelly is next. Yeah.
I made that shit up.
Correct, and that's what the people thought.
Did you?
A boring one.
Who's next then?
Mechanized.
Oh, hold on.
Mark, what do you think? What did the people say?
Good question.
So did Mechanized? Was she telling the truth, or
they're on for true?
Flopping out a lie.
It was such a lie.
Oh, that was.
Chat room, you're rubbish. What's going on?
So Mechanized, over to Stig then.
Oh yes, was it Joe Pasquale? Well, actually, contrary to popular belief, no, he wasn't the stunt double for Kevin Costner in the Waterworld scenes. That was actually Mr. Blobby.
Oh, that's very good.
Resemblance, can't you now?
And over to Mechanized. What did they think of mine? With the
they knew it because you got it wrong, and there was a reason for it. Hold on, where is it now? Sorry, I have to scroll.
He hasn't got some sort of allergy, does he? Or
no, there is something you got something wrong on it. Hold on, I find it.
All right. Well,
you got it false. So Tony found out that you got it false because it was cheese and pickle.
Cheese and pickle.
I really want to jump in here. Kevin Costner's actual stunt double was Norman Howell, and he came up too quick on a deep dive scene, and he got the bends, and he had to get airlifted to the hospital. He almost died on this movie. And
wow.
As far as Kevin Costner's dwelling situation during filming, He didn't subsist on cheese sandwiches or anything like that. He stayed in an oceanfront villa with a butler, chef, private swimming pool. Cost $4,500 a night.
Wow.
Can I have a role like that, pretty please? I'm very good playing as well.
And for everybody watching, Rick isn't reading that off the screen. He just knows this shit. I think that should be a T-shirt. Rick knows shit. It's like, you just know
Rick,
stuff.
Any idea how long the location shoot was?
Oh, it was supposed to be like 40 some odd days, and they ballooned out to, I want to say, 180. And I am legit thinking off the top of my head with those numbers. Like, it might have been like, instead of 40 days, they meant to do 60 days. But yeah, they spent a good half a year filming this movie, because
it should have been a month and a half.
Film on the ocean. like Kevin Reynolds went to Steven Spielberg and says, "Do you have any advice for me before I make this movie?" And Spielberg's like, "Don't film on the ocean. I learned my lesson with Jaws." And what does Kevin Reynolds do? He goes out on the ocean.
Yeah. Totally.
No, it wasn't down to the fact that Costner just really liked his $45,000 condo.
Oh my gosh!
I bet he did.
I mean, so.
And also, like, one thing that people can decide whether or not is true. Apparently, Kevin Costner demanded that the VFX crew hide his receding hairline digitally.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so you can hang out on the side and decide whether or not that's true, because we're not entirely sure ourselves.
It's difficult with water.
Very, yeah, definitely. So, just a quick one then. So, Mechanized, we had a bit of sad news this week. So, would you like to just, and I will.
Okay. Well, our dear friend, which really is upsetting me still. Mark is a friend since the 90s, a very close friend of ours, and he was the owner and founder really of Slime Night Club in London. Mark has been like a brother for me since the 90s, since I go to Slime Night. I know Mark, and Mark was a very close friend to Kevin as well for the same amount of time. And yeah, we found out that he's passed away on Wednesday.
Yeah, so we'd like to dedicate this show and our next album to Mac. He was a wonderful guy. He was really, really fun, awesome person. Was always willing to help everybody out. He was a real, genuinely awesome and nice guy. So raise your glass, everybody, and salute to Mac. And we will see you all in Valhalla, Mac. So. He will be sadly missed, because he was absolutely a legend. The first time, he used to have a tank in London. He had a Hummer. There were some really funny stories as well. So the one time we went down there for like a New Year's Eve party, and Mac was that excited, he had all these fireworks to let off at midnight. Even though everybody...
He was waiting for Kevin.
he was waiting for me to go on the roof and play with the fireworks with him. But everybody was inside the club, so they wouldn't see the fireworks. So it was purely just for his own entertainment. We phoned him up one Christmas to wish him a happy Christmas, and he was in Kuwait, I think.
Getting parts for the Hummer.
Yeah, talking to some strange arms dealer buying stuff for his Hummer. So the guy was a true legend, and will be sadly missed. But and Mac,
Mac leaves behind his wife, girlfriend, Cheyenne, and his little boy, Mikkel, which is 6 months old. So it's just so upsetting.
So really, really upsetting. So just before we go, a big round robin. So thank you very much to Rick and Julia for coming on the show. You guys are absolutely awesome. We love your podcast. So any final words from Rick to the audience, to your fans, our fans, Mad Max fans, Waterworld fans, people who've actually got the Funko Pop?
All I can say is thank you so much for having us on the show. We've been watching the Freak Show live streams for a while now, and it's so great to be able to come over and metaphorically play in your yard after we had you over on our podcast. And if anybody wants to listen to our stuff, like I said before, www.madmaxminute.com. You can find all of our published stuff there. And we also have bonus content on patreon.com/madmaxmin.
Awesome. And also, thank you very much, Rick, for saying that we were the best guests you've ever had. So over to Julia.
I thank you so much for having us on. This was a ton of fun. It's really awesome to see the community that has grown up around the Mad Max franchise. I highly encourage people to go to that website, check out our podcast episodes for the 4 movies. It is a body of work that I am genuinely proud of that we did, and we had a lot of fun doing it. And I would just love more people to get to hear us talk about Mad Max movies.
Awesome. Skelly, thank you for your Christmas. I'm looking forward to your Christmas collection coming out on vinyl. Well. Any words for the masses?
I suppose you just get all philosophical at this stage. So we know we're not here for a long time, so try and make it a great time. And this Christmas, if you want to have an extra mince pie, you just have it.
you eat those mince pies. Stig.
Well, if we haven't got a show before Christmas, have a great Christmas. Don't listen to any gits that tell you not to wear a mask.
We will have a show next week,
There's
won't we?
one next week. Yes.
Don't listen to anybody who says don't wear a mask. Think of other people. Don't be such a selfish twat. And if anybody wants to know what to get me for Christmas, I really like Julia's Mad Max shirt. Mum, are you looking?
Oh dear. Mechanized.
And there was a first of all, before I say anything, Mama Giddy's poster didn't arrive, which I think is really, really tragic. So I think we need to resend that again. Okay. So I have no idea. Possibly the war pigeon was shot off over the waters. Who knows? So we will send another one over with it. Okay. So, well, what I want to say is just, cherish the time. You can see how quick it can be over. Just, be nice to each other. And as Mark just said, just really take this shit serious, and don't be an asshole, and just really just stick to the rules and just get the shit over, please. And because we are all sitting in the same boat, and it doesn't help, the longer we wait and the longer it will take until we go back on stages. I think we from the UK have no travel as of January, so it's total travel lockdown. So it's getting worse and worse. So please, everybody just play by the rules.
And just from my side, guys, live life to the full. Enjoy good friends. Hang out with really nice people. If there's arseholes around there or whatever, just ignore them. Just only hang out. Make sure all your friends are just the cool people. When all this is all over and it gets back to normal, if people say, hey, do you fancy doing this or whatever, and it's something really epic, just go for it. You get one life, just live it to the full. Somebody said that initially to us with Wasteland. They were like, you're an English band. Have you ever been to America? No. Do you want to come and play Wasteland weekend? Hell yes. And it's changed our life. So 2022, we're off to Australia. Never been there before. We're playing the Mad Max 40-year party. For Mad Max 2, that's going to be awesome. And we're going to Japan. Can you imagine V2A in Japan? What the hell? What could possibly go wrong? So, guys, live life.
What can possibly go wrong?
Live life to the full. Look after your friends. Only socialise with really awesome people. And ignore all the real nasty, dull, horrible people because...
Yeah.
They can do one.
They can do one.
Yeah.
And Waterworld's really good.
At the end... Yeah, Waterworld's really good. So watch the show in March. It's really good. So, but before we finish the show, so if everybody can just raise the glasses for Mark and wish him a good salute up there because it's Saturday night, and take care, mate.
Definitely. And thank you, everybody. And we will see you next week. We have quite a lot of really awesome celebs lined up. I mean, some really crazy people. So, and thank you very much for Rick and Julia. We love your podcast. We are massive fans. And
thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for coming on. And we will be following you religiously and trying to get back on your show because we had so much fun. And we were only slightly drunk, I think. I can't remember. It's all a blur. So cheers, everybody, and we will see you next week. And cheers to Mac.
Mark, take care.
And we are finished. Well done.